All right, I'm back here with Stairway to Eternity, turn 5. Should be just after the last turn. And let's log in again and see how this went. My research is completed, and there was a battle, but I don't know how this is going to go. So let's actually watch it and keep the suspense. I'll probably speed up the beginning because it's just going to be a heck of a lot of dudes running at each other. Oh, that's bad. I probably should have had these guys to hold. Luckily, barbarians are crazy, and they're going to charge right in. Let's see how this goes. Okay, good so far. They're not really damaging me much, except that time. When they damage me, that happens because my dudes are going to berserk. When they berserk, they're going to get +3 to their attack skill, their strength, and their protection, which leaves them at 25 protection, which is just about where even a barbarian is going to have a hard time to hit you. Especially if they failed a magic resistance check and now have cursed luck. Increases chance of getting hit and increased chance of these hits hurting more. Okay, so I don't think it might not affect them attacking me, but me attacking them, I have an easier time getting hitting them and then doing more damage to them, which these gentlemen have very low armor, high hit points for a human, but very low armor. Not that great defense skill, which is probably why you saw them just go down in swabs. Damage is 24, which again, for a human, that is fantastic amount of damage. And for as strong as these guys are, 24 protection is actually what they've got. When they berserk, it goes to 25. So just enough to barely, defend themselves against these barbarian swings that are very strong. But luckily, that was a word of power. Oh, I think they got one of my dudes right there. So most of them went down. One of my dudes, I guess, went down here. And let's see here. We'll have here the all has no effect. So he passed the morale check to be able to attack me in the first place. He was hit with curse luck if he didn't already have it. He rolled a 15 versus my 7 because my dudes, if you pass this morale check, they're not going to defend themselves very well. They're just going to try to shrug the attack off. And then with 2d6, this man rolled a 19. So that's a lot of damage. Yeah, my dude's dead. But overall, one loss to take 50 barbarians is not terrible. I hope these guys aren't too injured. Never healing wounds is fine. Nothing like, okay, this guy lost an arm, so he only has one instead of two. That's okay. Okay, so overall we have one lost and 50 barbarians dead. Excellent. I'm very okay with this. Choices now. And yeah, I probably could have sent this to deal with the cavalry, but at this point, I'd rather grab more provinces. Huh. I'd rather grab more provinces, and then if one person died, the income of getting this province, this 40 income I just got, is probably enough to pay for another one and a little bit more. So it's okay. The reason I went earlier when I saw this having death 3 scales on it, there's a chance that it's going to have a death site, a death magic site, kind of like these, that's going to give me death gems. And these death magic sites, they're kind of hard to find. You need, I think, death 3. And if you sit there for a while, they're going to disease your units. And in the meantime, they're going to promote death scales, which is going to slowly kill the population. These wastelands are the wasteland mountains, so there's probably a huge amount of magic sites there. And that's probably a good choice to grab, because both of these are bad. But you know what? There's a throne here. This is a good choice. Like if I can get this one, this would be amazing. But look at this. There's enemy dominion here. I was thinking that somebody's capital is probably right here. And this is a forest. And I think this is Pangea because this is Zaphel. Which means if he gets this one, and we might even bump here. If he gets this one, he's going to automatically put a castle on it. And he's already going to be able to castle all of these things. Taking this is also going to be risky diplomatically because again, if it's a forest, he's going to want this forest, so he can put his little. They have little like grow from trees and stuff. They'll make their own little castle for cheap. So that's a risky play. The same thing goes. He might have gone this way to grab this, I wish I could get this mountain because it's going to have all these resources. But here's the deal. Down here is probably not too much money because swamps suck for money, wastelands suck for money. It's the plains, but it's so tiny it might not be worth a lot, whereas this might be worth a lot. And this is maybe it's a greedy play. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. But I think that's the route I should take. This is a good province for me, just because again the natives in there are going to be useful. So I think I'm going to hit this forest. I'm going to hit the forest. I'm going to put you guys on hold and attack. And I'm actually, let me see which one of my units are wounded as I fiddle through the menus to find that out. Which one of them are wounded? Because I might put them on bodyguard duty. I'm going to put these guys on bodyguard duty. This will stay behind troops. They'll hold and attack. And the reason for it is if I run into Pangaea here, odds are he's going to have some crazy centaurs on hold and attack rear. So they're going to try to go around and hit me in the back line, which means Hooligan to have to defend himself, and I'd rather Hooligan live a little longer. So I'm going to move here. Same hold and attack. 10 of these guys should be fine up in the front line. And Hooligan will have his friends to help him survive as well. And that should be okay. And then the province after, or the turn after, will move here. And then this should be secured because, again, this throne, odds are Pangaea is not going to run at this throne. We might bump here. If we don't bump here, we probably will bump here if he chose to go in this direction at all. I might lose these provinces, of which the one I really want to know about is the swamp. But I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that. Let me actually use that. I'm going to have him do the same thing that Harut did last time. So I'll put him exactly where Harut was because I kind of like that spot. You are not going to hold and retreat. I want you guys all to attack. So what I'm hoping to happen here is that there happens to be 3 commanders. If there's 3 commanders here, I will assassinate the 3 of them because assassinations happen before battles. And then Masheth over here, who's this a coward, will go in, take the picture, everyone's going to run away. To that note, we have here Relay showing up on the shores. Lobo Guards, Meteorite Guards, Illithid Lords, Traditional Army. These guys are really good units, and actually one of the things I'll have trouble with, because they have really high armor, and that's fine, I'm going to hit right through it. But they have really high damage weapon, and I prefer my enemies have tiny spears or swords that are just going to bounce off. Going to continue recruiting warlocks. I'll get a second human bred. Actually, I'm not going to get a warlock. I'm going to drop one of these. I'm going to get a salamander. And I'm going to have 7. I'm recruiting 6, 13. So yeah, next turn I'm going to have this guy come walk out with an army. We've got one of these, and he will have 5 these little dudes protecting him because he's just a dude in robes like these guys are. His skin's going to be made of wood, so he'll be a little resistant, but I'd rather not risk him get shot by an arrow. So what I'll do, back to my original plan with Murmur, we're going to get these guys here. We're going to tell these guys fire cavalry. And I'll have these guys in the back. I'm going to tell them to hold an attack, and I want them to focus on the cavalry. And Murmur, get behind them, and you... Ooh, red shirt number 1 is going to have a very bad time. He actually needs to stay all the way in the back. And the reason for this is my dudes radiate heat. He's a lowly human, and this is actually going to happen to all of these guys. I just don't expect them to actually survive. So him being behind the rest of these Abyssians, he might just catch fire. Just by he's on the same beam, but just hanging around about him, it's going to happen. So hopefully this works out as I'm expecting. Fortunately, I have to wait until tomorrow to see how that goes. Over here, we're going to have Hooligan with his goon squad take out these guys. Hopefully I don't bump into Pangaea in either of these provinces, but if I don't bump here, I'm probably going to bump here. Assassins are going to clear this out. Relay is here. I'm assuming again his capital is here, which means 1, 2. This looks kind of wasted. Or not wasted in the sense, but debilitated. He's not going to go anywhere else with this, so he's going to have to go back and reinforce here maybe, and then move here, which means Hopefully I have time to clear this, but I cannot assassin expand into this one because if he is here, or even if he is here, he might walk up and grab it. And I need to actually get a scout here quick because if Relay ends up making landfall on this province and this has lizard shamans, he and I are going to have a problem because I need lizard shamans. They're better than the indies I'm going to get here, the indies I have here, the little wolf tribes. I need that nature 1, yes. Well, this is 90 gold for nature 1 when I can get 90 gold for nature 1 astral 1. Make communions. Um, mercenaries. I'm really bad at buying mercenaries, and they would have been great last turn if I would have remembered to deal with this bundle of heavy cavalry. Great idea to have mercenaries. I forgot. It is what it is. One thing I can do when I march out with this unrecruited guy. We'll see how it goes. March out with him. Maybe he can get some archers, but this shouldn't be a problem. These guys have sticks and stones as weapons, except the obsidian sword over there. That thing hits pretty hard, but the rest of it, I can just ignore it. All right, so that'll be turn 5, and I'll see you guys next time.